morning, good evening. Welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. I know, it's a bit random, it's a bit odd. And I've moved my chair. Oh, I got all comfy and just slid over. How's that? So this week, we missed last week is what happened. We missed last week and I feel all out of whack. I have no idea what we talked about the week before. I'm like, did I even show you my finished blanket in the Bliss? I don't know. I've got it here. Let me know in the chat if you've seen my Bliss on live stream. I know some people have seen it in real life. Some people may not have seen it live stream. Let me know. Today is the first Thursday of the month here in Australia. So if you are local, if you are in the southeast region of Queensland and you can make it to IKEA Logan tonight, we have our regular meetup on the first Thursday of the month. We'll get there around 6ish, hang out till they kick us out. About 8:30ish, they normally give us the boot, so we've got time to quickly grab anything from IKEA on our way out. And just have a great time sitting back, eating meatballs and just chilling. I mean, you don't have to eat the meatballs. It's totally up to you. But yeah, we just sit back and we relax and chill and do more craft. So Thursday is a very crafty day for me. So yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the things. Also, this weekend is our members chat. If you are not a channel member, you may not know that once a month we have a live chat over on Discord. So it's like a Zoom call where I get to see what you're making and you get to tell me what you're doing and what you're up to. And so it's definitely more of an actual conversation. So if you are a channel member, coffee level and above, we do have our monthly call this weekend. Now, we are planning on moving the calls to my time zone, Australian Sunday mornings, but not this month. Next month we'll start that. This month it's Saturday. So it's still Saturday, 10 a.m. in the Discord. If you are a channel member, you will and you are not over on Discord, there's instructions over on the Discord in how to connect it all up so you can find the call. If you have any problems, just tag us in the general area and we will look into it. And so, yeah, so that is this weekend as well. So because the reason I don't want to move it so soon is this week is Mother's Day in Australia. So we have Mother's Day on Sunday. It's going to hit a little different for me this year, I think. But we'll see how I go. We'll see how it goes. And we'll go from there. But in the meantime, should we show the blanket or should we just do some knitting? Like, I don't know what you want to do. Thank you for the mods. Drop in the Discord link. You guys are legends. Should we see the blanket? I don't know. It's right here. So let me know in the chat. But I've also decided that while I've been doing some crochet stuff, so I'm going to show you that before I get into the knitting. So I might show that while you guys are deciding. So I've got a little project I want to do for the craft retreat, Fiberific retreat coming up. And so I've been doing like a whole pile of swatching for that. And so I wanted to give the Eleonora a run to see how it went. And so I'm like, oh, I'm not going to really talk about the project because that's for the retreaties only. But the swatch that the Eleonora made is so gorgeous. I need to show you. Okay. I just need to show you. Leanne's link failed. Is that right? Your link to Discord? Hang on. I'll find you a link to, I'll grab you and you can actually, Kelly, if you're a mod over on Discord, you should be able to create an invite link over there, but I'll look into it anyway. So the Eleonora is this stuff, right? So Eleonora, I was swatching something else with this one. So that's it there. It's gorgeous. It's a merino, extra fine merino wool cotton nylon blend. And it's a chainette because, you know, we love a good chainette. We love a good chainette. Well, I love a good chainette. Anyway, this yarn, it's a slow color fade or slow color transition. No abrupt color changes, and look at that. I am loving it. Now, admittedly, I've got to get through the purple to get to some really pretty blue. And it's a different, I think it's the same blue that's in the middle. I think it's the same blue that might be in the middle. But anyway, I'm just going to bring you into the top down shot. We'll see if the color shows up nicely. It shows up nice enough. And the color is just gorgeous. It feels amazing. It feels so soft and drapey. Now, it's not going to work for the project that I wanted because I needed much shorter color repeats, but oh my gosh, I cannot wait to start a project with this. And it's got so much, like it's so soft and it's got just a little bit of bounce to it. Now, this I did with a 6mm hook, believe it or not. I'm surprised at how small the stitches came out, to be honest. It feels more like my 4mm crochet granny squares. So, but it's got some lovely drape and bounce to it, and it's so soft. Anyway, if you can get your hands on some Eleonora to try, Peyton's Eleonora, I would highly recommend going and giving it a pat. There's so many pretty colors. I want to do a swatch up of my other colorway, which is this slow pink apricot-y pinky blend. And I think that's just going to be divine as well. So I'm just so excited. Like this was a failed swatch, right? And I'm still in love with it. Is that weird? Like it's not going to be what I want it to be for the project, but holy cow. Has your tension changed a little? No, I don't think it has. I actually think it was the yarn, to be honest. Because when I did the exact same hook with the Sierra, I got much bigger stitches. But also, like, and it's also like, okay, 6mm hook is quite a large hook for this sort of yarn. I would hazard a guess that this is like a light DK, sort of DK to light DK, right? Weight, like as in wraps per inch. But the meterage on it is like sock yarn meterage, but it's not a sock yarn thickness. It's way thicker than sock yarn, but it is a hollow chainette. It's not a filled chainette. So it compresses down a little bit. But usually when we do something with a hook that's too big, the stitches get all baggy and too open. Whereas this just sucked itself in a little bit, like a good old pair of spandex, you know, or Spanx, like just sucked everything in. So I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say. I'm like, dude, would this work for something like a crochet, like a knitted skirt? Because some yarns will lend themselves nicely to that, others will not. But I'm thinking this one might. I suppose it depends on how it washes. But anyway, I wanted to share this, my failed swatch, with you all. The colours in real life are way better than what's showing on screen. Let me see if we can get, there we go. The colours here are just lovely. There you go, black background. Absolutely love it. I think it's awesome and I cannot wait to use it for something. Hence, needing to, needing to go in and finish some projects because I need to start another project. I need to start something with this in any of the colorways. Anyway, the blanket. Right, let's have a look at. Can I zoom out? Let me just zooming out. Zoom. No, that's not it. That's the wrong thing. Let's go to. Are you it? No. Camera A. Alrighty, zoomed out a bit. You can see all the mess that I hide from you. This is the blanket. Go over there, little chair. There we go. That's the bottom of it. It's only just off shot. There we go. So there you can see it. So just drop it down a little bit. This is the blanket. And I love it. It feels amazing. And it's a great size. It's not quite a single bed, or at least it's not quite an Australian single bed. So let me go back to here. And then I want to show you the join and how it came out. Which side is the front? This side is the front. Okay. Not that it actually matters that much, honestly. But you know, if I'm going to show you the pretty, I want to show you the pretty properly. I'm just going to give it a quick fold up because it's quite big to have on a desk, it turns out. Alrighty. Now let's go to here. It's so soft. It's so squishy. It's all the pluses. So we ended up going with it's a flat braided join. That is not focused. It's a flat braided join here. So, which I really love. And so I didn't see how we've got, because you do come at it from 3 different directions. So you're coming at it from here and you go down there and back up there and then back out there. And so, you know, we come at it from 4 directions. So sometimes the middle points are a lot more colorful. And then other times there's only like 1 color off, where for some miraculous reason, but you know what I mean? So those ones don't seem to sit quite as nicely. Like, I'm being so picky, right? Whereas the ones with like multiple colors fit nicely, and the ones with all the 1 color fit beautifully. So it is gorgeous, and I would highly recommend, if you, again, this one's the Peyton's Bliss, Panda Bliss. I don't even know. Where's a ball? Where's a ball of it? Not handy. I think it's Panda Bliss. But I love this too. So I had to go and get that off my couch because I've been using it. It's so nice on, and it's so squishy and so soft. And this is what we're working on today. Because like the reality is, I've just got the sleeves to do and the last little bit of the bottom. And this one's done. And then it's like the majority of the work, like the hard work, there's just yarn going everywhere because I've got multiple balls. I've got 3 balls attached to this project right now. So the hard work is done, and I just need to get in and do the rest of it. Why does that look so much longer on that side than that side? I don't know. Is it just a perspective thing? Yes, it was just because of how it was sitting. It's okay, Chantel, don't freak out. Anyway, so I've got, oh, I just about had a heart attack. Then I'm like, oh no, there's no thing in there. But no, there is some of that in there. Thank goodness, because I would have cried. Anyway, where is the bit thread there? That one goes in the middle so I don't get it tangled up. And that's for the sleeve. That's for in the middle as well. Get in there, get in there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've got the 2 sleeves. They're on separate needles as such. Just because my brain wouldn't do the 2 at a time thing, right? And it was just like, when I was setting it up, like, it's the same as setting up 2 at a time socks, which I had no problems doing, right? But for some reason I couldn't do it on the sleeves. I don't know why. Does anyone else's brain do that? Sometimes, like, you know you have the skill, you know how to do the thing, but for whatever reason at that point in time, it's not going to be your friend. I'm just double checking where I'm up to here. Yep, I'm up to this one. Oops, let's go that away. So yeah, like, so it does just happen sometimes where my brain goes, nope. I know you know how to do it, but we're not doing that today. Yeah, so so far on my end, the stream is stable. If you're having problems, double check on your end that it's not being a butt face. But for a change on my end, it's stable for now. Like, let's not jinx it, but yeah. So what are you all working on today while I'm knitting a sleeve or 2? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I'd had a whole pile of internet work done here on on Sunday, I had to get NBN out. My NBN box stopped working. But according to everything on this end, which I can usually see if it goes janky, it lets me know. But for now, it seems to be good on my end. But yeah, internet issues are annoying. And I was chatting with the NBN guy, and he replaced my NBN little black box in the house again, the NDI. And he, and I was just like, well, that only got replaced in January. Like, how is that the problem? And he goes, oh, then these little black boxes, they're not that great. I was just like, what? And he goes, they're made fairly inexpensively, so we can switch them out like pretty quickly. I was like, oh, okay. Kerry is knitting the Riptide V-neck slipover. Interesting. I'll have to check out the Discord to have a look. But yeah, it's just interesting. Like I was like, I had no internet, no Wi-Fi. And then I thought, you know what? Like Tim and Abby were out. I had the house to myself. My plan for the day was to sit back, watch some West Wing, and craft. Right? That was my plan for the day. It was massive plans, you know. And then I was just like, oh man, I don't have any internet, so I can't watch West Wing. And I've only got season 1 of West Wing on DVD, and I had to dig it out, and I couldn't find it. So I thought, you know what? I'll watch Eureka instead. I got given that box set as a gift. I watched through it one time, and I wanted to rewatch it again. Like I've seen it on TV before, but I wanted to rewatch it again on the disc. And we'd just done a big shuffly around with the technologies between the living room and Tim's little nest area. And we'd been using the PlayStation for years for the DVDs and Blu-rays in the living room, but we've just switched that out with the standard Blu-ray player. Wouldn't connect, wouldn't work. I've got to Google why it's not working. So I was just like, okay, I'll just watch TV. And I kid you not, there was nothing on. There was a couple of movies from the 40s, so in black and white. There was a pile of different sports, which I don't watch sports. And there was something else. I thought, oh yeah, I could probably deal with that. I put it on for like 5 seconds and just like, no. And so I was just like, far out. So, you know, and we play all our music through our TV, like through streaming services. So all our CDs are packed away. We don't have a CD player. We play them through our DVD player. So no music, no internet. And I was just like, oh, this is insanity. So I sort of just sat down on the couch with my knitting, and then luckily for me, because like silence is not my friend, right? I even when I'm focusing on something difficult, I still like to have the background noise, right? And luckily for me, the birds outside decided to have some full on biffo and have like a massive yard party, and be really loud. So I was just like, oh, thank you, birds. Like the lorikeets came in and harassed some miners, and it was like, oh, needed you guys bad. And like I was pretty lucky actually in the scheme of things. Like for a start, my telco called like within half an hour of me logging the call, which I was just flabbergasted, because that just doesn't happen. And then within probably another 2 hours of that, there was an NBN guy ringing to say I'll be there in half an hour. I was just like, wow. And like it did take him a little while. Like there was the fault heap did perplex him a little bit. And it was like it was a case of he actually doesn't know what the problem was, but he replaced like a pile of stuff and it's working again. So we're just going with that for now. So yeah, it was just a lot of like I didn't realize how like usually like we've got another CD player around or something like that, but we sort of downsized all our technology. We're like, oh, we play everything through the TV, so like let's just get rid of this, let's get rid of that. We don't need this. And it was just like, oh man. I mean, we still got a box of CDs. if I had something to play the CDs on, I could have played CDs. But yeah, so I was like, this is just... So that's the task for this week sometime, is to work out why the DVD Blu-ray player is not working. So, you know, it makes me sad. It makes me sad. Hey, Suspicious Potatoes. Good to see you jumping in. I hope your appointment's for a good thing and not a bad thing. But either way, best jujus for you. Yeah, for bird noise. Tell me about it. Bamfi says, I'm working on a crochet door snake for my son. Artsug is knitting sleeve number 2 of the baby jacket. Oh, lovely. Lovely. I actually saw a picture of a baby jacket on like a little matinee jacket, and it made me think of you guys. It was a beautifully knitted matinee jacket, and then they had duplicate stitched, like, so it was like a cream or a white jacket, and then duplicate stitch in color, like beautiful colors, just little tiny flowers and leaves and a little bee and things like that. And I was like, oh, I think the bee was actually embroidered on, but everything else was sort of duplicate stitched. So it's just like, that was gorgeous. Couldn't listen to an audiobook. I had no internet, and I didn't know how long I'd have no internet for. And so I didn't want to use up data on my phone in case I needed it for these live streams this week and for however many weeks, because like with our telcos here, you'd never know how long it's going to take for them to solve it. It could be like, you know, 5 minutes or you know, like half a day, basically, from when I logged the call to when it was back on, half a day. Or it could be weeks. You just don't know. So I didn't want to use up all my data on my phone if I was going to need it for like live streams and things like that. So it was like, I was a bit torn. And the only audiobooks I have currently saved into my phone that's downloaded are the ones that I used to go to sleep. And if I start playing them, I'd go to sleep. So, I mean, I probably could have gone to sleep. A nap would have helped. But then I might have missed the call when the NBN guy came. So, yeah. Kerry says, I finished with the sleeves until summer, the vest, then summer tops for the winter spring plans. Nice. Frances says that she's in between projects and feeling a bit lost. I'm like, I've got like a full-on list of things that I want to make. Have you got any things that you want to make? Like, is there a pattern that inspired you? Hey, Enid Snurk 70, good to see you. So yeah, are there any patterns that inspire you? Anything that you particularly want to make? I'm on a garment kick for myself. Like, the blanket was a bit of a detour of what I'm trying to do. I wanted to make some of my own tops, because I really struggle to buy tops that fit nicely. I've got a couple that I really like. Like, I like this one, and I've got a couple of other ones that I really like. But other than that, I just have tops that are, like, cover me. They're not comfortable. They don't look nice, and they'll do. So I want some more tops that fit nicely and look nice. So if you can't buy one, what do? We make it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making it. So I've got my pink ranunculus. This is a cotton. And you know, so we've got that. Oh, that's not going up. Why are you being a butt? There we go. And then I've got my Stripy Pride t-shirt, which is another one that I'm just under the sleeves for. So, like, I've got all these garments that I just need to get the sleeves done. I think am I stuck on Sleeve Island? Is that what's happening here? I don't think I've ever been on Sleeve Island before, but I just realized both this and my other top, I'm just up to the sleeves. And I sort of finish off the hem after I've done the sleeves just to make sure everything fits. But I've worked out what I want to do with the hemline for this one. I just haven't done it yet. Because I was able to try this on when we had our Caffeinated Crafters meetup last Saturday. And so the amazing girls were able to give me some great advice and some awesome tips on what I could do to make it just fit just a little better. So I'm going to do that. Suspicious Potatoes is on square 3 of the last 6 squares for her granny blanket. That's awesome. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. I do have a secret squirrel retreat project. Yes, I do. Yes. Too many ideas and having trouble deciding. I'll procrastinate for a day or two and then decide. I totally get it. I totally get that. Sometimes you just need to sit down and work out, what have I got in my stash right now that I could actually start right now? Oh, Diane, it's great to see you. I have a few of these projects I need to finish. Yes. So have you got time to pull one onto your lap right now? We can work on them together. I don't know if you're home. I don't know if you're near your projects. I don't know if you've got, life happening around you. Project decision fatigue is a real thing. It really is, especially when we've got so many projects that we want to do. I know I want to make something with that yarn. Do I know what I want to make with it yet? No. Have I swatched with it with knitting yet? No. For those jumping in, I am talking about this Eleonora yarn, which is just beautiful. It's so soft and just feels amazing. It is a super soft merino, 33% soft merino, 33% wool, cotton, and just a little bit of nylon in it. And it's a chainette because I'm obsessed with chainnettes. And I'm like, right, I need to make 27 projects with that because that feels amazing. And I could totally wear it next to my skin. However, I do have this exact yarn in 3 more colors. And again, feels amazing. Totally can wear it next to my skin. So what am I going to make? I've actually, if you met me, I would even say 5 years ago, I would not have had garment quantities of yarn just in my stash. I would have to go shopping for the garment quantities. I would have just the skein here and the skein there that I bought at this event, or this hand-dyed one that I just loved, that, and it's like in 1s and 2s. And it was never enough to make a full garment out of unless I was able to make the blend whatever they were together, which, doesn't always work. Sometimes the colors don't work together. Sometimes the textures don't work together, all that sort of stuff. And so, sometimes your stash isn't enough and everyone's like, oh, don't you have enough yarn? And it's just one of these things where you sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't have the yarn for the project you want to make, and so you do need to go shopping. So if you need to do that, then you need to do that. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Claire, it's good to see you. I'm here listening. I have a horrible migraine, so hiding in the dark, listening to the chit chat. Love your projects. Claire, I hope you sort out your migraine soon. That sounds awful. Bianca says, it takes me forever to decide what to make next, but you make a garment, you'll be like, I'm just going to knit this shirt while I decide what I'm going to make next, and then you make a top in 14 minutes. Oh, Christine, sorry, your YouTube handle here is not your name, so it's very hard to tell. You went to the Margecraft camp last weekend, and now you're unspinning a single I didn't finish at camp. Oh, nice. Was the camp amazing? Because I was tempted to try and get to that one. I saw that they had a couple of spots available, and I was like, oh, I really want to go, and then I didn't. I chickened out. But I've been to other Margecraft camps. I've been to some over in New Zealand, and they are awesome, fun camps. Knitspin Girl says, it usually takes me quite a few days and false starts before I settle on the next project. Oh, look. I see you. I do. I will quite often start, to the point now where it's a little bit of a joke in my circle of crafty friends, where I will, I don't put my projects into Ravelry until I am past yep, that's the yarn I'm going to use. Yep, I'm happy with this. Okay, let's go. Because it was just one of these, oh my gosh, is it really? Oh, far out. It is. It makes sense. I just didn't read it backwards. My name backwards is Elitnak. So, It was a thing that we used to do as kids. We would walk around speaking all the words backwards, or all the words starting with the same letter. Not words that are supposed to start with the same letter, but we would pick a letter of the day, like say it was a B, and then we go bell, bat, biz, bubblesome, bing, and I haven't done it in so long I don't even know how to do it anymore. But that's what we used to do because we were kids in the 80s, and sometimes you just do random stuff to keep yourself occupied. Francis went to camp as well. Oh my gosh. Kerry, have an awesome day at work. Thanks for jumping in before you go to work. The game weirdos are so jealous she wanted to go to camp. The camp was good. Like, the camps are good. The camps are good. Christine says it was good. Seemed warmer at night compared to Canberra, where we have a single digits overnight the previous nights. I don't know. The last couple of weeks, like we had a couple, I mean, at least here in Brisbane, we had a couple of cooler days and then it's sort of warmed back up again. Like we were getting tops of like high 20s, like 28, 29 degrees at the moment. And the lows aren't getting quite low enough. I was last week or the week before, there was a couple of nights where it was just like deliciously cold at night. But through the day, it's just like back to hot again. But last night and the night before and a few of the other nights, the temperature's not dropping enough. I need it to drop more. Then I'll be more comfy and I'll sleep better. I'm so selfish, right? I need the temperature lower. Oh dear. But yeah, no, choosing your next pattern, especially if it's going to be something like big, like a full garment or a whole blanket or something big. It's not just the like, choosing it. It's like, okay, I'm about to make the decision to put 100 hours into something. Am I going to wear it once it's done? So, like that's what goes into my brain. Am I going to wear that once it's done? Because it's so easy to get caught up in how pretty something looks or how you like the colors or whatever. Or that's such an interesting shape. It should be so fun to knit or so fun to crochet. But the reality is the style, while it would be an exciting project to make, may not actually be something you'll wear. Or it just, it won't just sit nicely for your body. And I think my journey that I've been taking this year on learning how to really heavily customize patterns to suit my figure. So one of the things that came up last week is while my torso is narrower and I've got a fairly narrow back, my hips and butt not, right? And so it's like, it literally is like let's be honest. It's like hips. So like my bust measurement is 40 centimeters less than my hip measurement. Like that's what we're talking here. It's a big, and it's not a slow gradual. It's like a boof. And so it's this sort of like adjusting the pattern so that they still fit at the top, but also, yes, they fit at the bottom, because if I just go by a bust measurement, the sleeves aren't going to fit and then the butt's not going to fit. And I don't wear midriff, so I can't just cut off the problem because that would be good. Just make a belly button length and that's it. I don't have to think about it. And I'm like, man, I wonder if I could just get used to just wearing shorter things so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But the reality is I wouldn't wear it. I'd be constantly pulling it down and then I'd stretch things out of shape and I'd destroy it in trying to make it do what I want it to do. So I have to learn how to make the adjustments to make it fit me. And every single person has got their own body shape, their own body measurements. We are not cylinders. Some of us are holding a little bit more weight in the front versus the back. Some of us have got more weight at the top than at the bottom. Some of us have got more weight in the arms, the bottom, the boobs, and then like a narrow waist. Like, unless you want to be in just an oversized sack that fits your widest spot, then it may be a bit difficult. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes that's not exactly what you want, because I'll be honest, there are times when that's exactly what I want. I want a big squishy thing that I can just pull over and just be in. So you have to think about, what is it that you want? When are you going to wear it? Will you wear it? And then go from there. Because there is no point in just making something that takes, 50, 60, 100 hours, and then go, I'm just going to have to give this away to somebody or frog it and start again because it's not going to fit. And so, sometimes we just have to make these decisions. Bye, Francis. Have an awesome day. And so, yeah, it's hard, because we would like to think that designers are designing for human bodies, and the reality is they are. Especially knitwear designers and good knitwear designers, they do design for the human body. It just might not be your human body. It's someone else's. It's probably their own, to make it fit them, or make it fit a loved one of theirs, or a particular person that they're making something for. And you just have to understand that with a little bit of math, you can readjust and rearrange things so that it fits you as an individual. And so I've had to stop thinking of patterns as the must follow precisely step by step. Now, if it's got lace in it, that gets trickier, if it's got cables or something. But, when it comes to like just stockinette and things like that, adding a couple of stitches here and there is no biggie. Now, if you've got like a lace or a cable thing, you can either add in something that matches to get that extra bit of width, or you need to add in the whole repeats. And sometimes adding in just one whole repeat, if that's at all possible. I usually try to mirror things, so 2 repeats even. It just depends on how much bigger it needs to be. For me, sometimes I do need to go into the whole 2 repeats thing, and that gives me a good amount of ease. I also don't like negative ease on my tops. I definitely like positive ease, which is probably one of the reasons why I like the ranunculus. But I will say, the ranunculus's suggestion of 14 inches of positive ease, I'm not here for that. That's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I wearing a sack? No, I'm not wearing a sack. So I readjust it, which is great for me, because it means I can go down a few sizes in the pattern to get, it makes my brain feel better. And I'm learning, like, they may as well call the patterns color names. That's how close they are to representing a size. I like how some of the designers are just like size 1, size 2, size 3. They're not actually like a size. It's just, this is size variation number 1, size variation number 2, And I like that they're doing that, rather than going, oh, look, size 12. And it's like, okay, size 12 for which country? And then, it's because, America's got different sizing than other countries. Australia's got different sizing. The UK's got different sizing. So, we've got all these things that we have to keep in mind. So I'm really appreciating that there's some designers out there that are just using numbers like size variation number 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. And that they're getting quite a lot of size variation in there. Now, there are some designers that don't do great, grading. They assume because you need a bigger bust that you must have a ginormous neck, and that you also must be 97 feet tall. So there's good designers and bad designers. When you find a good designer, you stick with them. Like, I'm loving Wool and Pine's work, what they're doing, and they seem to be prolific. I think they're a team. I don't know too much about their business behind them, but they're making some gorgeous stuff in a pile of sizes. I love their work. Kelly, thank you for this reminder. Remember, if you are enjoying, consider becoming a channel member. For the cost of a coffee per month, you can help support our wonderful Chantel. Thank you, Kelly. And it's so true. It's like 1 cup of coffee a month. there's a few different tiers that you can choose from, and if you choose one of the coffee tiers rather than just ad skippers, you do get to join into our regular monthly calls, and we are having one this Saturday. So Friday evening in the US, Saturday morning in Australia, where you can just jump in. Like it's on Discord, but it's very similar to a Zoom, and you can have your camera on or not, and you get to decide. But you will need to have your microphone on, so that we can hear you, if at all possible. There is a text chat on the side, so if you do having technical issues or something like that, you can let us know and we can try and troubleshoot you. But yeah, like the more the merrier. Game Widow says, I just found an interesting jacket pattern, but it doesn't go to my size. Is it far off your size? Could you do some math redos to get it to where you want it to be, or is it just too hard? Because sometimes it's just too hard. I mean, I'll be like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's for kids. Yeah, I'm not mathing that. Or, it's only for size small and medium, and you're just like, oh, come on. Like, where is the rest? Where is the rest? But yeah, I will say I've been enjoying some of these tops that have like a one size yoke fits most, and then doing all the rest of it from sort of below that. I've been enjoying that. So that's Jenny King's top was like that. The Ranunculus is like that. The Pride, I think, was a bit like that. I don't think there was too many choice decisions I had to make before I got to that point. Hang on a second. Time to change. So yeah, so that's always nice, not having to make a million decisions before you get started. Let's see if you like how the yarn sits. I prefer positive ease to hide the imperfections of my body shape. Me too. Me too. And I just find it comfier. Like, I'm in the subtropics. When things are too snug, I overheat. So, aside from all my body image issues that I have, I don't like to overheat. So, and I like to be able to have some nice squishy soft layers and things like that. Like, yeah, winter's coming, but like winter in Queensland is hilarious. I think it was on a Tuesday last year. And so we don't have the coldest of winters here, and I haven't been down to Bendigo lately. I've actually got a jumper I think I'm gonna frog. And I love the pattern. I love the design, but it is just straight up too hot. And it's a beautiful Adidas Designs sweater that she designed, and I love it. I love the interesting details in it, but I can't wear it. I took it to Bendigo and it was too hot for Bendigo. So 2 degrees and it was still too hot to wear that with a t-shirt under it. So it was some of my Fibrific hand dyed DK, and it was a bit of a custom dye. So it was like a lake, but with slight speckle through part of it. So I did the speckles at the top and then just the plain at the bottom. And there's a kilo of yarn in it because it was a crocheted oversized sweater. So I think I'm going to reclaim that yarn and knit something out of it, because I think knitting it will be a bit lighter. Or if I crochet something out of it, it's going to be something wholly. Whereas this was totally solid. It's like, I think it was, I want to say half doubles, but it could have been single crochets. But it was like full dense stitches. But it is beautiful and I love it. And the design was so fun and it was such an interesting make. But I'm just not wearing it. And it also takes up like a third of a drawer. And I can fit like 60 t-shirts in a drawer. So that takes the space of 20 t-shirts. So it's quite large. It's quite large. So I want to wear it. I don't want to waste the yarn. So maybe that could be a goal. That can be something I can get done this week. Just a little, a little just a little side quest of non-garment finishing finished, reclaim that yarn. Something like while I was doing all these various swatches, I've realized I've got a few little bags around of other yarns that I've frogged from projects. And I realized that I've got like quite a lot of the old school Bendigo Luxury, like when it very first came out, and it was delicious and soft. I think it's going back to being delicious and soft, but there was a time in the middle where I was a bit like, meh, not really enjoying how this feels, so I stopped buying it. But this is back then. And I've got like a couple of colors in DK and a couple of colors in also the 8 ply, and then a couple of colors in the 10 ply. And like, I think I've got like enough to do stuff with. Do you know what I mean? Now the 10 ply, they were colors I'd bought for Abby. So it's this beautiful dusky pink, which I do like, but also a bright yellow, which I am not a yellow person. So I might have to rehome the yellow. I cannot see me using it for anything other than, say, a blanket. Maybe I could make a blanket out of it. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely, it's not being made into a garment for my face, let me tell you, because I can wear so many colors. Yellow is not one of them. It's not, because of my like iron deficiencies and stuff like that. My skin has got really massive yellow undertones. And so, yeah, it's me and yellow, we don't play. Leanne says, I remember it well. Abby pinched it for a bit. Yes, I have a photo of her wearing it, and it's like down to her, past her knees, and it's like she's just swimming in it. Just swimming in it. But yeah, so I want to find projects to utilize some of this extra yarn in. Unfortunately, because it's DK and 10 ply, like 8 ply and 10 ply, I can't combine the 3 colors that I do like. So I've got like a beautiful light blue, a gray in the 8 ply, then the peachy pinky color. It's very pinky, but it's got like a slight hue to peach. Knitspin Girl says, I'm like you with the yellow. If I wear it, it makes me look ill. Yeah, I do. I've learnt, do not wear yellow unless you want people commenting on your health. And it's like every now and again, it's like the old yellow t-shirt's the one that's clean and dry, and you're like, oh, I'll just wear it around the house, and then you end up popping out to the shops or something, and you look like death warmed up. Like the zombie apocalypse is coming and you are patient zero. But yeah, it's just like we all have our own colors and we all have things that work for us. Like, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Sorry, I was like, oh, I don't want to lose the end and accidentally go all the way around. That would be annoying. So Vampire has a similar issue with greens. Yeah. Yeah, jaundice is not a good look on me. Yellow is not my friend. Yeah. Yeah, we all have colors that don't do us any favors. Luckily we have lots of choices, right? We have lots and lots of choices. Something I think is really weird is for many years you wouldn't catch me dead in anything pink. And it was because, like, when I was little, my mom dressed me in pink constantly, right? And like frilly girl pink, okay? Like, it was not my favorite era of my life, or looking back at the photos. When I got it was mostly when I was a toddler and stuff. As I got a bit older and was able to stamp my foot, I started wearing other colors. But yeah, just one of these things where it's like, I wouldn't be caught dead in anything pink. Like, I'd be like, oh, that's a really nice top. It's a shame it's pink, and then not buy it. Our color tastes change, and as do we in our, invariably, our whole bodies, our whole everything changes, but our color tastes also change. maybe not so much for Team Purple. Maybe some purple hues change, but like my favorite colors have changed over the years. I mean, I wouldn't say pink's my favorite color or anything like that, but I will happily wear pink and be like, yeah, that looks good. I'll do that. That works. Whereas, not even that long ago, I would have just been like, oh, hell no. Like, I tried not to even dress Abby in pink, but it turned out she liked pink. So when she was old enough, I moved her away from the yellows and the purples over to pink because she wanted pink. So, you got to let them have their say every now and again, right? But when Abby was younger, she looked adorable in yellow, I'll have to say. She would not like me saying that. But again, I think now she's an adult that can't do yellow. So it's interesting. It's really interesting how we all have different undertone colors to our skins. And they don't show up until you're wearing a particular color and you're like, oh, no, that's bad. I remember in the 80s when everyone's mums were getting their colors done. Is it still a thing that people get their colors done? They go somewhere or like you have like a party who comes to you sort of thing and you get all your colors done? Knitspin Girl says, I love purple, but it's got to be the bluish purple. Oh, there you go. See, I like red, but it's got to be the dark cherry red, not the orange red. I do not like orange red. So that's more the cherry red's like a blue red rather than an orange red. So we all have our own particular tastes. Oh, Holly says it's a big thing right now to get your colours done. So that's swung around again because it was like, oh my God, such and such. It's so 1980s. But yeah, mate, it's coming back around again. It happens. Swings and roundabouts. Gamer Widow says, I have to be careful with makeup. If there's any blue tones in it, it looks like I'm covering bruises. Huh. Mel C, great to see you in the chat. I'm making a ranunculus, but I have adjusted my ranunculus to fit me as more of a slight, more like a proper pullover. So I've adjusted it. And so, I've made the sleeves a bit bigger, but the body a bit smaller and it's going to fit me. So it'll be good. It's very pink. It's so very pink. I really hope I wear it and that the pink doesn't put me off. I don't think it will. It's a nice pink. This is Bendigo Solstice. It's a pink. Well, they've got various colors, but this one in particular is a pink. And it's a chainette because I'm obsessed with chainets. And I love a good chainette yarn. I live in the subtropics. So hollow yarn is great, which means I actually get to make things out of chunkier yarns. Whereas historically, no way known to man would I be making a full length sleeved pullover with 8-ply yarn. I just wouldn't wear it. Our winters, I basically get around in a long sleeve t-shirt. And I might, there'll be times, at night, it definitely gets colder. And so, you want to pull over or a hoodie or something for that. So, but even still, it doesn't need to be super warm. So, mind you, our houses here just are not built for winter, right? I watched this chick, she's hilarious. I think she's Canadian. And she did, I think I told you guys about a skit she did where, she was freezing in winter and her family thought that she'd just acclimatized to Australia and was just being a sook. And then they came to visit in winter and they had come from Canada. And it had been unseasonably cold for them for that time of the year. And while it was, you go out, and that's the thing, we get cold, it's cold in winter, we go outside to warm up because our houses are still cold. So yeah, it's just funny that way. There we go. Come on, young. Be my friend. Um, my mum was. Vanfi says I go for deep reds or cobalt blues. Yeah. My mum was all earth tones. Orange was her favorite color. My mum was a purple girl. Everything was purple or colors that went with purple, and she liked all purples. Like if she could paint her walls purple, I think she would have painted her walls purple. Um, Game Widows says that she's you said dual this, but I'm assuming dual tones. I'm good with all bright colors except for yellow. Um, and pastels, I'm okay with like creams and whites. But other pastel colors have kind of, it depends on what their undertone color is. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually very lucky. I can get away with most colors. It's just whether or not I want to wear it. I personally don't like orange all that much, so I don't wear orange. And I'm not a big fan of a lot of browns. There's some browns that are amazing and beautiful, and the depth of color is just gorgeous, but others, and I think it might be because I grew up in Australia in the 80s. My school uniform was like one of them. Actually, it was the colors of school. I went to 13 primary schools, and it was the color of the school uniform of three different schools. The uniforms were different, but the colors were mission brown, white, and orange. And this one particular school, it was a mission brown pleated skirt with like a white and orange checkered shirt, and it was awful. And so I don't wear orange, and I don't wear mission brown because it's awful. But some people love them, and I have to remember that. But for me, it brings triggers. It triggers. Trish is in the chat. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you came up in my feed. What are you making? I am making a ranunculus. It is a heavily adjusted ranunculus, but that is what I am making. I'll just let me finish this part of the sleeve, and I'll lay it out flat so you can see where I'm up to. But I am up to the sleeves. I don't finish off the bottom until I sort of get through a certain part of my sleeves, because my arms are big. And so when I put garments on, sometimes when I put my arms in, everything sort of moves to where, somewhere else. And so I wait until the sleeves are at a point where I can try things on and have it. Oh no, don't be a butt. Get back out of here. And have it so it sits, like the arms don't have to be completely done or anything like that, but just have it at least sort of part the way up, like where it's totally getting the fat part of my underarm. And once I'm there and I try it on, then I can work out exactly what I want to do at the waistband. But I still haven't gone back and adjusted my waistbands here. There's yarn everywhere. Let me just do this. That's the back. This is the front. Let me just give it a little shaky shake. There we go. So I'm doing a ranunculus. I'm up to the sleeves. I have already given it a little try on. I'll give it another little try on sort of in about another inch or so. And then go from there. But so I've got all the way down here. So I really am up to just deciding what I'm going to do at the bottom. So yeah. So that's where it is at. But my ranunculus is not going to be like the oversized. You know how some of those ranunculuses are really boxy and big, and I'm not doing that. I don't need that in my life. So I go down a few sizes, so it's still plus, like, positive ease. Yeah, it's still positive ease, but it's not like 14 inches positive ease, let me tell you that. You keep hearing that pattern. Look, on Ravelry, over 20,000 people have made it. Now, this is my third one. All three of mine are totally different. So my first one I made out of a four-ply cotton and made it a t-shirt. So I did short sleeves. I had, like, the sides were just like about an inch where it's separated, so the front and back are separated. I made a few little adjustments here and there, but basically the whole top, everything was the same pattern, just size adjusted to be a t-shirt fit. And then I made a beautiful oversized one in grey silk, which I've pulled a thread on so I don't wear it. And it's very open, very loose, and it's 3/4 sleeved with an I-cord. So they're totally different, and the yarns are totally different, and then the look is totally different. Like, aside from like this patterning, that's what brings it all together. The yoke is what brings them all together. And even still, because the yarns are so different, you might be able to get away with people not even realizing you've just made the same pattern over and over again. So the thing I love about the ranunculus pattern is so many people have made it. There is so much help out there to see, to have a look and see what it's like, to see if you can make the adjustments for what you want to do, for even just making it straight as the pattern, which is the oversized sort of slightly shorter boxy jumper or pullover. And or if you can adapt it to suit what you needed. Now I live in the subtropics, a big heavy or big mohair jumper I'm never going to wear, but I can adjust things to suit me. Like, this is cotton. This is a cotton chainette. And it's warm enough. It's definitely going to be warm. It's warm enough, but it's not going to be, oh my gosh, I'm wearing alpaca, and A, I'm going to die because I'm allergic to alpaca, but B, it's so hot because of the nature of the yarn. So you can change things. This is why we all make our own stuff, right? It's because we want to be able to adapt and change things to suit us as individuals, our budget, our climate, our size, everything. It's just one of these things. And then the original designer has put out some phenomenally clear videos for every instruction, for everything that's a little bit that's not stockinette. There's instructions for the collar, or the neckband. There's instructions for every type of one of these increases and lace, everything. So this particular yarn is it's a 10 ply. So yes, it's classed as a worsted weight. I've lost my yarn. There it is. Come back here. So this one is, but my grey silk one was a sport weight, and my t-shirt one was a sock weight. You can use any yarn with the ranunculus. And the other thing is, which, are you sitting down? Because this defies logic. I made myself a t-shirt out of 350 grams of yarn. And they were 120 meters per ball. So it was 7 balls, so 700, 800 meters. And I got a t-shirt. I'm a very plus size person. That does not happen. It is very, very friendly with meterage. It's very friendly. I could pop this on a scale and tell you what my very plus size sweater is weighing at. I'm currently working out of 3 balls right now, but I think I've only used, I don't know, I'd have to weigh it and check. That link is to my projects, so that's not to directly to the ranunculus. So yeah, I think if you look in my projects, you could probably find one of my ranunculuses and find the link there. But if you just go to Ravelry and type ranunculus, then it would come up, because it's such a popular pattern. The other thing is 6mm needles, chunky needles. Being in Australia, being in the subtropics, I'm usually working with 4 ply, so 3mm needles, maybe 3.25s. This feels very chunky. So yeah, it feels very, very, very chunky. So it does feel like it comes up really quickly as well. Now this one keeps being put on the back burner, so it doesn't appear to everybody else that it's coming up quickly. But it's one of those projects where if you can focus on it, you could get it done relatively quickly, I would say. Just because you're not using this, like, it's very easy going on the meter edge with 6mm needles. So, you know, we get to win. I love it when we have, like, and I think that's why a lot of people make it, is because it works out to be fairly inexpensive for a garment. The pattern is a little on the pricey side. It is worth every cent. It absolutely is. It's worth every cent. So yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes you get what you pay for, and this particular pattern is a very well written pattern. And it's got the links in there that send you straight to the videos where you need help. And then if you just if you find that for whatever reason those links don't work for you, because we all know there's different methods of teaching, and some people learn better from others. You can always just check it. But you know, you can find someone else that's done a similar video. They might word it differently, or word it, because I don't think the original ones have any wording in it. The neck opening has always deterred me. What do you mean by that? What's the neck opening? Let me just hang on. I'm nearly finished this. I'll lift up my neck and have a look at it. Is it like just the cast-on's a bit different or something like that? Because there's all videos. There's all like instructions on how to do everything. And that's one of the reasons why I love this pattern, and I think it's worth it. Also, I've already made 3, you know, so, and there's a good chance I'm going to make more. Let me just look at the neck. The neck doesn't seem to be, I don't remember it being particularly tricky, to be honest. It's been a bit since I made it. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being particularly tricky. I think understanding that 6mm needle with a rib, it's going to be much more open. It's not going to be a tight rib, like, because I originally looked at it and went, what was it, like 60 stitches or something? And I'm like, oh, hell no, my head's not going to fit in that. But it turns out 60 stitches on 6mm, yeah, no problems at all. But as I said, each to their own, and it might not be your cup of tea, but if it is, have a squizzy squiz at it. I need a drink. Luckily, I made a cup of coffee. Now, obviously, I've got my Yeti out today, but I totally botched it up. I don't know how, okay? But, yeah. Oh, the neck looks very large on the original pic. There's 2 neck options in the pattern you get to choose. But I've actually chosen the larger neck option, I think. And I think part of the problem is they've got, like, basically what looks to be a toddler wearing it. Bianca, who's in the chat here, she's made a few of them as well. Bianca, did we do anything different with the small and large? Like, I thought I chose the large neck opening, but it's not particularly large. Like, I've got a fairly narrow torso in comparison to everything else, and it just sits quite nicely. Like, it sits sort of like this. It's still good and hot. I would have a look. Trisha, do you check the other projects? Like, when you look at a pattern, do you click and see what it looks like on other people who've made it? Because that, for me, is always like my first thing that I do. I look at what other people have been able to do with that pattern. Like, some designers are really great at making things, not so great at explaining things. But if you go in and have a click on, like, there's 20,000 projects there, you probably will find someone who has a similar-ish body shape to you, and you can have a look at how it sits on them and read through their notes. Like, so click on it for more, and if they've got notes, and you can see if they've made any changes. And so you can learn from the other people who are making it. So that would be my piece of advice, is go and have a look at the other projects and see how it sits on other people. So that's one of the, and that in all fairness, that's one of the other big advantages of this particular pattern, so many people have made it that you're likely to find somebody with a similar-ish body type, or someone who has, like, you know, like if you've got a bigger bust and you need to see how it sits on the bigger bust, while someone might be a different size than you, you can see the proportion of bust to their body, and then you're like, okay, that fits there. Or you can see if it fitting their arms, or, you know, things like that. You can go through and have a little look. But yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one. And if you do decide you want to jump on the bandwagon, we meet up here at this time every week, or most weeks, unless my work is cutting in, or I'm sick or traveling or something. So this same bat time, same bat station here on this channel. But also we have a Discord, and a lot of these ladies that are in this chat now are in the Discord. So if you need any help or advice with yarn and things like that, jump in the Discord and just drop in your question and somebody will answer it. And so you don't feel like you're doing this by yourself either. Sometimes when we're trying something new, it can be a little bit daunting, but I think this will surprise you. If you've knitted before, I'm assuming you have, then you will you'll probably knock it over faster and easier than you think. Yeah, I would say it's like for a full-size sweater, it's a quick make. It really is. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. So, and sometimes you just got to, you know, do the thing. Oh, the Hexie cardigans can feel like they take forever. Like we are multi-craftual here. We don't have any rules about knitting and crochet talk. We all alternate between, well, not all of us, but most of us alternate between. I certainly do. I've just finished a crochet blanket, and I'm swatching now for a new crochet jacket that I want to do. You know, so we love all the crafts here. But yeah, those Hexie cardigans, I haven't made one because I'm looking at them thinking that would take me forever. So Kelly has just added the link to Discord. So if you just click on that, that should take you to, like, it's just a chat area. So like it's just for messages and things. So you can go over there and join in the general conversation over there. And then after the live stream and stuff all finishes, then we sort of, you know, throughout the week, we pop in there and have a chat with each other. We've still got another, 45 minutes or so before we end the stream off today, though. So, and if you can't find that link to the Discord, you can always come back and find the when I click it, it brings me off. Oh, you might be on a phone. But yeah, so, you know, Discord is fun. We'll still be here. We're not going anywhere. Alrighty, we're plowing along. I'm so grateful that you guys are here while I'm doing these sleeves. I do feel like I am starting to get around Sleeve Island and understand what's here. So, like, you know, and we added a few extra rows so far. We're getting there. If I was the other sleeve, I'm over here. I try to make it so I just flip and flip, but, you know, sometimes I don't and end up wiggling it all around and making a mess. Sounds like Abby might be home with Louie. Louie and Abby went off to have adventures. They had a Louie play date at the dog park with a friend of Abby's and her dog and daughter. So we will see. Louie might be coming in. I'll set up the Louie cam just in case. There we go. Hang on, I just got to fix up his little bed. I don't know if he'll come in or not, but if he does, his bed's under his little camera now. He might go for a drink and go and get something to eat And, you know, he's a dog. Dogs do dog things. Who knows what he's going to do? Oh, you think you did the Discord right? Excellent. Well, we'll check out. I'll check over there after, and we'll see if we can find you in there. But yes, it's because we can't live stream all the time, and sometimes you just need help, and you need a quick answer, or you just want someone to chat to and see what they're working on. That's what our Discord is great for. So glad to have you over there. So yeah, it's frustrating. I'm assuming you're on a phone if you click a link and it takes you away, or like a tablet or something. So I appreciate you making the effort to come back and not just ditch us. Just ditch us. So yeah. But after I get this ranunculus finished, I've got my Pride sweater, which again, sleeves. So, oh, there we go. Bianca says, Louis Cam's on. Oh, there we go. He's here, so we'll get it on screen. I heard you come in, Abby, so I set it all up, but I was just waiting. Oh, no, he's left. What are you doing, Louis? He came in, sat on his bed. I didn't even get a chance to turn it on, and then he's walked away. Man. He's such a cutie. He's been so like snuggly this last week or so. Like he just wants to be on you all the time. You have Miss Babs yarn. Maybe that'll work with the ranunculus. Is that the Miss Babs 4-ply? Because it'll totally work. It'll just be slightly. It won't be just. It'll just be a bit more open. The 4-ply will totally work. And Miss Babs yarn is divine. I just want to say the colors are just phenomenal. So you could probably, unless you're unless you're like my size or bigger, you could possibly get away with 2 skeins and make a top. Because that's like 850 meters. I don't know what that is in yards. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's you could possibly get away with making a whole top with 2 skeins of sock yarn. Because Bianca, what is it for you? Is it like 600 meters? For some reason, I have 600 meters stuck in my head, and for me, it's not quite 600 meters. It's more like 700 meters. And so yeah, it's just one of those things where it just doesn't take. Like I look at patterns for other sweaters and stuff, and I need like 5 skeins of sock yarn, and then you're just like, oh yeah, 2 or 3 will give you a ranunculus, and you're just like, why wouldn't you make the ranunculus, honestly? And why do these other ones just take so much more yarn? Yarn is expensive. I mean, I do understand why. Okay, I do understand why they take more yarn. Oops, got that caught there. It's because they're more closely knit. They're not using 6mm needles. They're using like a 3 or a 3.5 or something. I do get it. Not a total potato. After I do this next 2 rounds, 1 on each sleeve, I'm going to pull out my stripy cardigan. Not cardigan, stripy pullover, and work out exactly where I'm up to with that, because I think I'm on Sleeve Island there too. I didn't realize I was on Sleeve Island until today. Like, oh, I've got all these jumpers, they just need sleeves. You're just like, wait a second. And we've got winter coming. So it's the perfect time to start getting all these things finished so I can actually wear them. I mean, how cool would that be? Wearing your own stuff all the time. I don't normally, like, I'm a t-shirts and linen shorts kind of person, so I don't really wear much anything else. So Trisha says, just realized I have so many different names. Crochet Locket on Ravelry, I think. Yeah, it's just one of these things where, you know, I mean, I'm pretty much fiberific everywhere for anything yarn related. I've got user handles for different things. So if I'm like hanging out doing anything where, you know, for anything where I'm teaching people how to live stream, it's just my name. It's just Chantel Hills. So all the tags for all the social medias are just Chantel Hills. Anything to do with yarn is Fiberific. And then if I'm like being covert, I've got another handle that I have that I use for all of that. Like covert as in hanging out and gaming live streams where I don't want to get paid out on because, you know, for whatever reason. It just happens sometimes. So I just have that one where it's gender neutral, not a picture of me, random name. Okay, so for my Bianca says for her silk one, she went with 500 meters. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's surprising how little yarn you need for a ranunculus. I'm always blown away. Because I think I've still got, I think I had 3 or 4 packets, so each packet's got 4 balls in it. So 4 of these, 450-gram balls. And I think I've still got like 2 sealed packets. Like I haven't even used 8 balls. And like I've got like this, a sleeve on each one of those and then part of the tummy on that. And I think I still have another full 8 balls somewhere. And it's just like, what? Why? So, oh yeah, that's right. And Bianca makes things long because she is a lanky lady. Do I have my... I don't have 2 full packets. Hang on a second. I've got 1 full packet and I pulled 2 out of there. But I think I did some weighing and I think I'm missing 2 balls of the pink. Because I weighed it at one stage and it, like before I took 2 out of there, and I weighed it and I was like, wait a second. Hang on, let me just look in the spot where that yarn actually probably lives. See if there's any pink in there. No. All orange, and this is like, I don't like orange, and yet I bought this in orange because it's a mandarin orange and it's amazing. But yeah, no, I think I weighed it out and I think I'm missing 2 balls of the pink. It's probably swatched up somewhere, tucked into a corner in a project bag, hiding under 27 other project bags. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, if I weigh this, it's going to include the weight of 3 cables plus the knitting needles. So it's probably an extra 50 grams straight up there. So we won't get a real true indication until I've finished and cast off and taken all the needles out. But yeah, there's still like this much here. And if I have to join on any more balls, I will be surprised. I might have to do 1. So there's going to be some pink left over for something else. Alrighty. But I do have the same yarn in other colors. So I have it in a light blue, like a tealy light blue. Not teal, what am I saying? Like a turquoise light blue, a cream, and a mandarin color, like an orangey color. So I have 4 packets of each of those colors. Bianca says I made most of my ranunculuses before I started filling in the details so thoroughly on Ravelry, so I don't know how much yarn I used, but I do know I went a really long way with it. Yeah. I realized the other day there's so many becoming me's. Yeah. I mean, look, the thing to remember is it's a hugely massive place with people all over the world. Even just someone's name is probably already used. You know, so when our names are no longer like individualized as they once were, there's so many people in the planet that it probably someone in the world we share with. I share my I had problems getting my tax file number when I was younger, because there is somebody else in Australia who was born with my first name, my surname, and my date of birth. The middle names were different. And so it made it tricky for me to get my tax file number because they had already gotten theirs. I was going to get mine straight away, but they must have gotten theirs a bit younger, so they'd already gotten theirs. So in Australia, we're not issued with our tax file numbers at birth. Or they might be issued, but we have to apply for them. We don't get given them until we're older. So, yeah. I'm not sure how it works in other countries. You're issued them when you're looking for a job where you'll have to pay tax, which is why we call them tax file numbers. There we go. I'm like, man, what else have I got over in my little stash of projects that needs working on? My shawl, my West Knits Hibernate, that winter one that I'm doing in the teals and the greys, that needs some working done. I'm in a fun section on that. My brain's come back, so I'm able to sort of start doing it, but I don't want to get too sucked into other projects because I've got to do errands this afternoon. I can't just slob on the couch with craft after, sitting here doing craft. So I have to go and do some other stuff. But I'm like, man, I want to just do this. I want to just do that. Like when you come out of like where you've had like a crojo, like a crafting, like no crafting mojos for a bit, and you're kind of just sort of going through the motions, and then all of a sudden the joy comes back again. You're like, oh, I'm so excited about doing all this stuff. It's like you want to do all the stuff. It's like, why don't I have more hands? Why can't I work on 2 projects simultaneously? But I can't. So, alrighty, let's have a quick squizzy squiz. Let's just put all this back in the bag. My beautiful bag made by Deb's Hands and Hearts, which I love so much. I do have actually a little IKEA tub in the bottom of it, just to keep it a bit squarer. Alrighty. If I was the stripy one, where would I be? There, right there. The first one I touched. How good. Alrighty, and this one's a Gamer Widows bag. So this is... I have no idea where I'm up to with this. This is another one that's using so much less meterage than I anticipated. I've got like, I think 8 more balls of this. This is the Pride Yoke sweater. Okay, so I've done the majority of one sleeve. And then I've got this other sleeve to do. And again, I've got the bottom on, but not finished because I wait until I can try this sleeve on a bit. So I got this sleeve down a bit, and then we'll get this one on. So I think that's where I got held up, is I've got to find the right color to join to the sleeve to try and make the sleeves match as much as possible. Now, I'm also not so precious that it has to match perfectly, but it would be nice if they were either totally different or like, because I could deal with them being completely different or very similarly close together. They're my options in my brain. So this one, and it feels amazing. This is a ice yarn. It's a linen visco cotton blend, I think. It is 30% linen, 34% cotton, and 38% viscose. 100 grams, 270 meters. I swear it feels like it's going further than that. Bianca says, hurry up and finish that because I want your leftover yarn. The way I'm going, Bianca, I'm going to be able to make another thing. Like, I'm going to have so much yarn left over. But yeah. But yeah, this is the Pryjoke top. I've made some adjustments to it. So if you, because I didn't like that you could see, like I wanted to be able to wear this as a t-shirt as such. So I didn't want any sort of um open sections. So I did different increases so that they were sort of more hidden. But this is a really textured yarn. At the same time as it being so textured, it's ridiculously soft and slinky. It's so slinky. So yeah, but and the color changes are just gorgeous. Honestly, they're just so nice. So I didn't do anything too crazy to match up, like I didn't cut yarns or anything like that. This is just how the color repeat went. Like obviously it was a bit different up the top here where it's much wider around the yoke. But then as I got to the bottom where it was going round and round and round, it just matched up just beautifully. So again, another one I really want to love and have um, fit properly. And I think I've tried it on to double check the sleeves are good, and the sleeves is totally fine. The sleeves are good because I've got very big arms, so the sleeves are good. But yeah, so I'm really, this is one I can't wait for, and I don't want to screw it up, which is why I'm on Sleeve Island for it. But I should just have it out so that I just stop forgetting about it. But what I'm thinking, like you let me know what you're thinking. I'm thinking maybe pop this one aside and actually just finish the pink ranunculus like totally finished. So because the sleeves are both, we're doing the sleeves together at the same time, and then I've just got a bit of adjustment for the bottom, and then that one is totally done, and then the gilt is gone from that one. Then I shift gears to this one and get this last sleeve finished and that sleeve finished. I think my plan for this was a 3/4 sleeve. I don't think I'm planning, because I push my sleeves up. It doesn't matter how long my sleeves are, I push them up. I like to be able to push them up. At least, and if they're this long, I like to push them to at least here. I don't like anything around my hands too much. And so I like to push them up. So I'm thinking 3/4 sleeves maybe so that I can push it up to my elbow. What do you guys think? Or should I just make the full length sleeve and just roll a cuff or something? I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I think that's part of the reason why I also stopped where I stopped, because I haven't decided what I'm doing with the rest of the sleeve yet. So, yes, because that's the sleeve joint on there. You can see it's a little baggy. I wonder if I can tighten that up. Have I got any yarn in there? I do. I've got some yarn in there. I could probably... Oh, there we go. I just gave it a little tug and it just tightened it straight up. Easy done. The stitch was just a little loose. But yeah, I am totally a 3/4 sleeve person for sure. But then if it's actually cold and I do want to, like really, like, okay, Chantel, it's not like you hang out outside in the cold. You are an inside person. So you get in your car, you drive to somewhere else, you're inside. Do you really need full length sleeves? Probs not. You could probably get away with 3/4 sleeves. It's not a yarn amount issue. I've got so much yarn. I've got packets of this one left. I don't even know where they are. They're out in the lounge room, I think. So I've got like another 2 4-packs of this. And I also have this exact yarn in a purple colorway, just plain purple. It's so nice. Let's have a look in the chat here. Bianca says it's just gorgeous. Trisha says that's pretty. Holly says I love 3/4 sleeves personally. Leanne says 3/4 sleeve is a great option. I call them dishwashing sleeves. Trisha says never used ice yarn. Yeah, it is. This is my first project with ice yarns. We had to find an alternative to Hobby because Hobby no longer shipped to Australia, the big bunch of bums. For whatever reason, they decided no Australia, no New Zealand, no Japan. We don't know why. Yes, it is brown with the blue. It is shades of brown. I'll hold it up to the other camera in a second to show you. And Holly, the question is not that often. Honestly, it's not that often. I'm thinking it's more of it's not so much a winter top, and it's more like a summer layering piece, or a like an autumn or spring top. I think it might be too hot for summer. I could be wrong. It feels amazing. It feels cool to the touch. Um, so let's drop to the other camera so we can have a squizzy squiz to check the colors, because this camera is better for colors. So this is how the colors look. So that's bluing them out a little bit rather. But anyway, that's where we're at. This is what's gonna look like on me. um so yeah. So, but I'm up to working out exactly colors and doing a sleeve join on, and sleeve join ons. I'm not. They're not my friend. They're just not my friend. I'm awful at. I've made a lot of things, but I'm relatively new to the garment world. So I still struggle with some things, and so I will not be adding that sleeve yarn on during a live stream. I'll get it joined on, and then we'll work the sleeve during the live stream, but I won't do it in the live stream. Get that back in there. But this is one of the large project bags from Gamer Widows. So this is a big bag. So I love this one. Looking fantastic. Those colors look great when you held up to. They are lovely colors. They are. I was so surprised at how long the color repeats were, because you know what it's like when you're buying yarn from a website that you've never seen in real life. You're like, it's going to be hit and miss. And once I add, like, because some people are like, oh, Aishan's so expensive, but like, because the postage was ridiculous. Like, let's be honest, they use a courier, they use FedEx to deliver the yarns. Okay, so FedEx is its own special beast when it comes to pricing for shipping, but it still worked out that like these garment quantities, because I think I bought four packs, so 16 balls of 2 colors. And each ball, I think, are they 100-gram balls? I think they're 100-gram balls. Yes, each ball's 100 grams. So basically, so 1,600 grams, so 1.6 kilos being couriered around the world, because it comes from Turkey, couriered around the world to Australia. And I think it was like $90 or $100 Australian to get it shipped. And I was like, oh, and I nearly didn't do it. And then I sat down and worked it out, like per ball or per garment I actually worked it out to be. So for each thing. And it worked out to be like $80 Australian for each garment of yarn sort of thing, which is phenomenal for me. It's phenomenal. And then the other thing that we have going is this guy. He's been on the back burner a little bit. I put him on the back burner when my brain was hurting, but my brain doesn't hurt anymore, so I should probably pull it out. What's happened there? The tip has come off. Where's the tip? There's a missing tip off this cable. Okay. Where is that? What size needles am I using here? I'm using 3.5 mils. What on earth? It didn't just get loose, it's off. Did I steal it for something? I wouldn't have, would I? I possibly would have. I'm going to have to find the other tip. But anyway, this is how this one's coming along. I can't flatten it out because I am in the middle of a row. And now I've like major concerns because I'm missing a whole tip. It's just gone. But I was very much enjoying that one. This one's another fun one. So it's my first West knits. I need something to put on the end of this so that it doesn't. There you go. That'll stop it. I just threw a knitting stopper on the end of it. So now I've got a coffee and a cupcake together. They go together, right? That's bizarre. I don't know what I've done with that tip. Should I lend somebody a tip? Like one tip? That's so weird. That's random. Oh. And then my little socks. My little toe-up larch peds that I'm working on. They're great. They're a little fun one just to have in my bag for when I've got to go and do bits and bobs. That's a slow project, but that's meant to be a slow project. There's no time limit on that. Oh, this bag is just full of yarn. I was swatching. I think I was going to start a singlet or something and then didn't like it. So I've got like 10 balls of this sort of pinky hued. I was like, what tip are you? But no, that's not it. Hey, I found those missing hooks. My missing hooks. And a glasses cleaning cloth. That's quite a large one. Ha ha ha, missing hooks. You can never have too many 4mm hooks, honestly. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think I'm going to frog that. All right, that's where that is at. And that's missing tape measure. So that is where we are at. The state of the nation. The things you find when you're not looking. Absolutely. Finding missing tools is awesome. I'm missing a 6mm hook. I was using it yesterday. I got up. I had to go and pick up my daughter's car from the mechanic. I came home. I went to sit back down on the couch. And it's gone. Trisha said here, you are so organized. This is so organized. Nothing else is. Everything else looks like a bomb has hit it. The camera is here for a reason. This is called framing. But I do try to keep the projects I am actively working on right there so that I don't forget them, because if I put a project aside and something ends up on top of it, that project no longer exists until I go into Ravelry and go, oh, where is that project? I wonder where that is. I started working on it and I haven't seen it for a while. So that happened with my Moonicati from TL Yarns. I was just like, where is that? I haven't finished that. That's around. And then I found it. It was in a box under some stuff, and I thought that it was just other boxes in the box, but it wasn't. There was a bag with the project in it, and that bag had other projects in it as well that were also missing that I forgot totally about. Well, Trisha, here in this group we have Kelly. Kelly is an amazing moderator, but she is also the voice in the back of our heads going, have you put that in Ravelry yet? And since Kelly started doing that, I've kept my Ravelry up to date, mostly within reason. And now I find it so much easier when I want to go back and do a ranunculus, and I'm like, what did I do to that neckline again to make it how I wanted to make it? And then I check my notes in Ravelry, and there it is perfectly right there, and I can find it. And I'll be like, what needle was I using for that? And then it's right there in my notes on Ravelry. And quite often I use it as like a stream of conscious as well. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I was going to use this needle, and then I did this and I didn't like how it looks, so then I changed to this one. So, you know, it tells me why I made decisions. You know, and sometimes like I'll math something out and I'll put the math in there, and then I'll, you know, do it and it didn't work to the math. I'd be like, yeah, that math was wrong. Well, I mean, that's true as well. It's because that voice is not always in our heads. She is right next to us. Yeah. So she is local to us, and Kelly is very passionate about keeping things up to date in Ravelry. But I also love her thinking about it, because when I'm looking at patterns on what I'm going to buy next, like, so think of ranunculus. if nobody was updating Ravelry with Ranunculus in it, with their photos of what they made in it, with their notes of any adjustments that they made, there's a good chance I would never have made it. Because based off the designer's photos, it's not really my thing. But based off the design, like what other people have done with it, I'm like, oh yeah, I would wear the absolute life out of that. That would be a staple, everyday wear. And so if we don't do that for ourselves, like if we as individuals don't do that, then other people can't make the fun thing we made how we made it, because they don't know how we made it. They don't know that we made it at all. They don't know that anyone made it. And the other advantage is in the reverse as well. If a pattern is crap, and we're seeing some crap patterns right now, we really are. I've got a friend of mine who is very cautious about how she buys patterns, and she still accidentally bought an AI pattern. And it is awful. It's written terribly, and it actually doesn't seem to make any sense. And so we can be vocal in that as well. We can say, hey, this pattern doesn't actually work. And that warns other people, don't waste your money here, go to another designer, buy the other pattern. Like, yes, this is the cutest image and this one looks the best because it's AI generated. It's not a real pattern. No one's actually made this project because it's unmakeable. And so we can encourage designers as such by putting our thoughts and feelings into their good patterns. We can be like, love this, made this adjustment for my body type, blah, 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 blah. But also, if it is dodgy, we can write, this is so dodgy, do not waste your money. So Vampire has said, seeing Kelly in the chat reminded me I still hadn't added my door snake to Ravelry, so I just did that. I even typed in the planning notes I've scrawled on a scrap of paper. I have lost so many notes over the years, like that I've had with my project, and I'm like, oh, I'll never throw that away, and then for some reason I throw it away. And now that I'm trying very hard to be more diligent with Ravelry, I mean, I've used Ravelry over the years and go in waves and phases of like, oh, I'm going to add everything. Then I'm going to add nothing. I'm going to add everything. So there's like all this like prolific amount of stuff at the start, and then there's this sort of gap in the middle, and then it's picked back up again. I never stopped making. I just stopped posting. So, you know, now I try very hard to do it. And Kelly says, yes, other people's Ravelry projects are one of the ways I have learnt so many awesome crafty techniques. I put in, like, if I found a great tutorial for something, I throw the link of it into my Ravelry notes. And sometimes it's just for me to go back to, but also other people appreciate that as well. So we're a crafting community, right? We all love yarn. We all love making things. Otherwise, kind of like, why are you here? Do you know what I mean? Like, so we all have this passion around it, and we all want to encourage the good designers and get the AI designers out of the mix. So if we all talk to each other and don't gatekeep the information or go, oh, someone else will do it. So, you know, we have to, and if everyone else thinks that, then no one does it. So yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. Kelly's a good person and she means well by it, and I have to remind myself that she means well by it sometimes. But aside from that, like, it's just useful. It's just useful for myself as well to go back and go, I want to remake something. I'm like, oh, I know I made changes to that. How did I do that again? And then you're like, oh, thank you, past me, for actually having some forethought. Yeah, that you're riding the posting wave. Yeah, I get it. I really do. Because it's hard. You know, like sometimes you just want to spend the time. You have limited minutes in a day. We can't spend all of them doing the things that we just want to do. We've always got stuff we don't want to do in there. And or even multiple things that we want to do, and not all of them are just sitting and knitting something. They could be, you know, going off and going to a retreat, or going camping, or going, you know, bike riding or hiking, or somewhere that you don't take your yarn, which it's not relevant to me. My yarn can go pretty much everywhere I go. But you know what I mean? So we have to enjoy it. and we have to enjoy the projects we're working on. And I hate it when I pay for a pattern and then it was awful or it didn't fit or something. So now, before I buy a pattern, it's very rare that I will buy a pattern if it's not already been made by a few other people at least, and they have photos up of the finished. And sometimes you have to like educate your own brain and be like, okay, so this person's made this top, this patterned top out of a very busy variegated acrylic. And it's like, does the shape fit? Because you can't see anything else, because for me, that kind of thing's quite polarizing. And it's just like, okay, so the shape fits. That's cool. Is there someone else? Because different people like different stuff. I personally couldn't think of anything worse than wearing something so busy as like that. It would, but then I don't do animal prints or anything like that. I'm very plain. Okay, like adding stripes is crazy. Very plain. So I like to have all the color and things around me, but I'm very plain. So I like that I can make things that fit that I like. Plain. Is that weird? That's weird. So making projects that have got like lots of colors or lots of stripes or something like that. I love the idea of it, but then making myself wear it is going to be a bit cray-cray. I'll be like, okay, I'm allowed to wear this out of the house. My brain's like, no, that's an at-home thing. That's not an out of the house. I just found a piece of snowy on my desk. Must have been in, I don't know where it came from. She's been gone a long time. If possible, I look at the free version of their blog to see if I can follow the pattern before buying the ad-free PDF of it. Absolutely. If somebody does that, like TL Yarn Crafts has that, like a pile of designers do that. They will have the pattern for free on their website so that they get the ad revenue from any ads placed on their website. If I can have a test run or a start with it and know, okay, yeah, this is cool, but these ads are driving me insane, I'll then go and buy the free PDF. I'll then go and pay for the PDF. But there have been times where I've done that and just gone, oh, hell no, this is awful. I am certainly not paying. I don't care if it's $1. I am not paying for this. And frog it and use the yarn for something else. Because we have limited crafting time. We don't have to make stuff we don't like. It's that simple. If you don't like it, don't make it. Find something else. Work with a different yarn. If you don't like the yarn that you're working with, de-stash it, give it away, get rid of it, whatever. Sell it on, put it on Facebook Marketplace, I don't know, wherever you can sell it or get rid of it, and then get something that you do like. We have limited crafting time. Now, I am a snob. I'm a yarn snob. I want yarn that I like, but I like some acrylics. I like some inexpensive acrylics, but I also like some expensive wools. You know, like there's a different yarns for different projects. I'm not usually, because I have done it once, I'm not usually going to make a blanket for the couch out of hand-dyed yarn. I'm not. I'll use acrylic or cotton or something like that. Or a cotton acrylic blend. That's even better. But this one, my latest blanket, cotton acrylic blend. Love it. It's my favorite. I can't wait until it's cold enough in this room, which won't be long till I'm whinging and complaining, that I can have this on my lap while I'm streaming. Be like, oh, comfy. So yeah. Actually, do you know what? Folded in half. This is the perfect size for under this desk. I'm so happy. But yeah, so having different yarns for different projects, having different weights for different things. Like I've been so happy over the last sort of, I don't know, 6 to 12 months that there are actually thick yarns like DK weight or even worsted weight yarns that are coming out that are chainettes, so that while I get to utilize big hooks, big needles, fast work, nice bulky stuff, it's not so heavy I can't use it here in the subtropics. So I've been loving that so much. So, you know, I've been so impressed, and I'm so glad that I wasn't afraid to try something new, because it's such a gorgeous feel to have blankets that are bulky. Bedtime for me, I clicked on the bell, so I will see you again. See you later. Be good. Have a good night's sleep. Nice to meet you. See you over in the Discord as well. Can't wait to see how your ranunculus comes along once you choose your colors and what have you. That'd be so cool. But yeah, so it's, you know, it's just having these thicker yarns, having options, not everything having to be lace weight or 4-ply. That has been such a game changer for me. Like the whole mental shift of the limitations of patterns, being more confident now with adjusting patterns to suit the yarn I want to use. I'd still say I've got a lot to learn for sure, but I'm getting less like, oh, well, that's a pattern for 8-ply and I've only got 4-ply, so I can't make that. It's like, oh, well, actually, what will it look like? Like, can I do some math and you know, add in some extra stitches? Because we all know that holding 2 4-plies together does not necessarily get you an 8-ply. It's more likely to get you the worsted weight, so it'll be too big then. But, you know, if you want the thin fabric of your 4-ply, but this shape of this pattern, what math do I need to do to get the right number of stitches and the right length to do the thing? And me and math, not good friends. Just need to, not good friends. But I've got good friends who can check my math. So that's something I absolutely love, being able to do that. So I very much appreciate you all over in the Discord helping each other out, help me out. And oh man, I'm getting too hot with the blanket on my lap. I'm looking forward to when it'll be cold in here. And so yeah, so it will be so awesome to just have that confidence. But I love that we can all, as a community, help each other. And that's how I feel about Ravelry as well, is being able to help each other, like with pattern purchasing. If we all put in our pattern notes and things like that. Like, I understand if you don't want your photo on Ravelry, just cut your face off. Just put your body in so people can see how it fits you. I get that we don't always want that, you know, and it's hard. And luckily now we've got options with our phones where it can blur a background, so we don't even have to show our homes if we don't want to. And so being able to just do these little things means that we can still get the photo up there to help everyone else. I actually think it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So, you know, I hate some AI. I don't hate all AI. I don't like it when they're ripping off designers and pattern makers and stuff and putting out fake patterns and crap. But I like that I can blur out the back of a photo with the click of a button. I don't need a special app for it anymore. Oh, man. Anyway, on that note, my friendly friends, I'm going to run away. We do have channel member call on Saturday. My Saturday might be your Friday night. Check it in the Discord. I will see you there. Have an awesome week. Get swatching. Make something. Dig in your stash. See what you've got. Use up something from your stash. And I'll catch you next time. Bye now.